Heart begins to pound. It's the anticipation of a rivalry without equal, a game worthy of March Madness. The setting is Cameron Indoor Stadium. The rivalry, North Carolina and Duke. Tonight, the number 16 Tar Heels face the number 3 Blue Devils in a fierce rivalry that began in 1920 and ends the regular season for both this evening. This game is also available in high definition on ESPN HD. ESPN HD is sponsored by Philips and Best Buy. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale. It's great to have you with us for the greatest rivalry in sports. We have been so privileged to do so many of these games. What are a couple of your best memories of North Carolina and Duke?
Well, you know, Mike, two that stand out for me. 1995, the Dukies were in last place, and they played against the great tandem when you think about Wallace and Stackhouse, and they were number 2 in America. Double overtime. There was drama, all kinds of spirit, excitement, and then another one that stands out. I'll never forget when Duke was number 1 in the nation, 17-0, 1992. Eric Montross was bleeding. It was blood, sweat, and tears, and that's what this is all about. It's about passion. It's about unbelievable enthusiasm and energy. And I'll tell you one thing, Mike, this is reality TV at its best. This is drama, and it's for real, baby.
Dick, the one that stands out for me, I go all the way back to 1984 when I had the privilege of doing my first ACC championship game between Duke and North Carolina. That made it very, very special for me, and tonight should be special as well. At Cameron Indoor Stadium, the atmosphere is classic. The rivalry, the best the game can offer. The opening tap controlled by Carolina, and Carolina scores off that tap. Rashad McCants, the ACC's leading scorer. That's a nice play.
Really a setup play right there, taking advantage of the athletic ability of McCants, having a phenomenal year.
J.J. Redick with a leaner from the lane, won't go. Felton with a rebound, or Melvin Scott with a rebound, out to Felton.
What a matchup of point guards when you talk about Felton and Duhon.
And North Carolina goes right inside to Jawad Williams. His numbers have been down lately, probably because of the series of injuries he faced. And Carolina jumped to a quick 4-0 lead.
What a nice start by Carolina. Great execution. Two really set plays, and they really did a great job in a two-man game.
Roy Williams said before the game his defense is getting better. And that's bad news for everybody else. And Duke turns it over. Roy Williams in his first season from Kansas, he is the winningest active coach in the country. He's won 80% of his games over his career.
And he's brought a lot of excitement back to that campus in Chapel Hill. They were about 5 possessions away from having a phenomenal year. They lost so many heartbreakers.
Wide open, Williams missed the jumper. Redick to Duhon.
Senior night, very emotional for Chris Duhon, playing his last home game. What a winner he's been. He's been my Derek Jeter, man, in college basketball. Forget about stats. You measure him by his winner's mentality. Mike, 116 wins in 4 years.
Ewing, Horvath comes out to set a screen. Horvath starting in place of Luol Deng tonight. Ewing with a runner, tough shot. Horvath got the offensive rebound, forces it back up, and will draw a foul.
24th season at Duke. What an amazing resume he has put together. He was really fired up the other night. Got a hit with a technical. Came out with a new wardrobe in the second half. Hey, the real question tonight is how's Duke going to react from that loss? and they haven't lost 2 games in a row at home since 95-96. 41 in a row came to an end against Georgia Tech. Paul Hewitt's kids did a phenomenal job. Had a good win today over Florida State as well.
Every win in this league is a good win.
You're right about that, Mike. The conference has been so tough. The best in America from top to bottom.
North Carolina, get this, has the ACC's leading scorer, the ACC's leading rebounder, and the ACC's leading assist man. 3 different guys. It has never been done before. And Jawad Williams at point-blank range has his 4th point.
A nice play inside. Great inside play by May, getting the ball to Williams in a little 2-man game. I tell you, they're ready to play right now, North Carolina.
Williams lost control of the ball on the way up, just slipped. Long outlet pass. Scott trying to save and can't.
We talk about that starting 5, one of the premier starting 5s in America, North Carolina.
FedEx starting lineups for North Carolina. Williams, McCants, May, Scott, and Felton. It is a talented group. And if they buy in wholesale to Roy Williams' ideas of playing 35 seconds every possession hard on defense, they're going to be tough. And Duhon goes backdoor to get a layup.
Nice little backdoor cut by Chris Duhon, moving without the basketball.
Williams against Horvath.
Getting the ball in deep down low. They're really effective bringing the ball inside.
Duhon got a nice little screen from Williams in the lane. Williams tries a follow, and Williams will be called for the foul going over the back. 1 on Sheldon Williams. The Duke FedEx starting lineup, and you see Horvath starting in the middle, along with Williams, Reddick, Ewing, and Duhon.
I think one of the big matchups tonight, May and Williams, whoever gets in foul trouble, the other club gets a big edge. May had a big-time game in the first meeting, 15 points, 21 rebounds. Deng back on the floor, 1 for 14 game, his last game.
Horvath, the senior, comes out, and Deng, who would normally start, comes back in. May tries to use the glass and spins it out.
Psychologically very big for Deng, I believe, to get a good start here. Coming off a disastrous performance for him. He's been brilliant all year long. Now you can feel the electricity up here, can't you, buddy?
Oh, absolutely. Williams backing in on May. These two went to war in the first game between these teams. Ewing, great scoop.
Well, a great move without the ball by Ewing. The double team. Great play off the double team. They find the open man. Ewing goes right down the gut of the defense.
Felton showing his quickness down the lane, and North Carolina, for the most part, is getting 2- and 3-foot shots.
Felton with that great job drive. Everybody loves Raymond. A lot of South Carolina. They hung his jersey up. 3,500 people in the town, 500 in the gym, and they packed it every day when he was performing.
Deng kicks it out to Ewing. See how J.J. Reddick does tonight, because earlier in the week, Rashad McCants said, I'm not worried about Reddick. He's just a 3-point shooter.
He said he's not a factor unless he's making threes. Hey, Frank Sinatra wasn't a factor unless he was singing.
15:57 to go, first half. A 3-point game from Cameron Indoor.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count. And Bank One, where you get individual answers.
There's a tradition at Duke. The only problem is they keep bringing him back. It's 8-5, North Carolina over Duke. Let's check in with our colleague Doris Burke.
Mike, a pair of twos is usually nothing to get excited about, but tonight's Star Watch features a pair of deuces who may play the trump card for North Carolina. That's sophomore point guard Ray Felton. An injured right toe, which made him questionable prior to Clemson, is fine. He played 37 minutes, was his usual solid self. For Luol Deng, 1 for 14 last time out. Dick alluded to that. He had a conversation with Grant Hill. He said, listen, it's a process, Luol. Shake it off and play, guys. We'll keep an eye on both guys.
He idolizes Grant Hill, talks to him twice a week. Luol Deng is certainly going to be a future superstar here. He's had some great moments already as a diaper dandy.
Horvath double-teamed, and Mike Wood will call a foul on somebody as Jackie Manuel is checked into the game. And there is the former Duke great Grant Hill.
What a classy guy, great family. Grant, right now, they say, is close to being healthy and would like to finish the season, get some game action. What a combination he would be with Tracy McGrady. He would be the stabilizer for them.
Terrific guy.
Oh, I love that team. Leitner and Hurley and that gang. So special in 91 and 92, going back-to-back.
Had some lineup changes. Shavlik Randolph, number 42, is in for Duke. Jackie Manuel, number 5, is in for North Carolina. He is the defensive star who will try to shadow J.J. Redick. And he's done a good job in the past of shutting him down.
He didn't play the last game with an ankle injury.
Tipped away the steal by Felton, who was so quick. Can't score. The follow. Rims out. Somehow May was right there. Couldn't get it to fall. Bodies fly. Duhon back the other way. Redick for 3.
Had a good performance against Georgia Tech. He was keeping them in the game. Before that, he was 1 for 9 against Florida State. Faces
the ACC's leader in three-point shots. Felton thought he was passing it to May. May thought he was passing it to somebody else.
Well, you know, Duke gets a lot of pressure on a perimeter defensively. I thought the game plan of Paul Ewing was outstanding. They really pressured their perimeter people, and they never, ever wavered whenever Duke made a run at them. It'll be interesting to see how that happens tonight. Love Felton. There's no question that Felton is one of the premier point guards in America. McCants leading the league, not only in scoring, but also in three-point shooting.
Dockery in for Duke, season opening and takes it, missed the shot. Felton with a rebound.
So unselfish, plays as a team player.
Knocked away by Duhon from behind, and a foul on Duhon.
They have such great respect for one another. Felton says about Duhon, I respect him because he's a winner and he's so unselfish. Look at those standings. Right now, Florida State at 6 and 10. I'll tell you, we had an interesting conversation Thursday with Bob Bowlesby, the head of the selection committee, a great guy from up in Iowa. And he said the best 34 are going to be put into the tournament regardless of records and conference. Saying all that, Florida State belongs in the tournament.
Weren't you impressed with Bob Bowlesby?
Yes, I was. He's an outstanding administrator.
Manuel has it knocked away, but Scott gets it back. Then he lost it, and the foul will be on Ewing.
Take a look at Florida State's losses on the road. They lost a heartbreaker to Duke on the road, a tough heartbreaker to North Carolina, a tough heartbreaker to Wake Forest, today to Georgia Tech. Hey, you take some of those other teams, let them play in this conference.
You can make a legitimate case that 8 ACC teams should go to the NCAA. I don't think 8 will go, but no. I think you can make a case for it.
You make a case, but 7 will go. I firmly believe 7 will go.
Well, then somebody's going to be terribly disappointed. In and out by Scott. Manuel was there, and that's slapped away by Deng. That's got to help his confidence.
Yeah, they got to get him a shot. He's got to get himself a good opportunity.
Duhon into the lane. He'll draw a foul.
So many good point guards in America. Jameer Nelson being the best from down at St. Joe's, who now will be #1 in America. There's the versatility of Deng with the block shot. We're going to see right now. There's the block shot, good angle. He's so versatile. Like Grant Hill, he does so many things on the floor. He can score, he can rebound, he can pass. And that's what made Grant such a great player, his versatility.
Grant told him at one point, don't worry about it. When I was a freshman, there were games when I didn't score at all. So don't worry about only getting 3. Nice dish by Duhon. Deng has it spin out on him, and a nice job by Noel to block out the lane and not let him get back to the ball.
I don't know about you, buddy, but in the last 2 games, it seems to me Luol Deng is always getting tough shots. Never anything
Absolutely.
Wide open, not in balance. I mean, that's a tough reverse shot layup there. The other night against Georgia Tech, he never had what we would call a good opportunity. He's never in balance shooting the ball.
And he wasn't just off, he was way off. They doubled down on Scott or on May, and when they try to get the ball to him, it's knocked out of bounds.
Well, good job defensively right there by Duke in that sequence, giving a lot of help on May inside, trying to take away the angle on the entry. That's the one common denominator I think this year in tournament play is going to be prevalent. Defensive play, and that's why the Kentuckys, the Dukes, I think are going to be major factors in Connecticut as well.
McCants in the last dozen games averaging almost 23 points a game. McCants tried to save it, stepped on the baseline out of bounds.
Hey, Mike, you say the last dozen games. How is 106 for 194 shooting the basketball?
He has turned into the premier scorer in this conference. This year he's had games of 31, 30, 28, 28, 28, 27, and 27.
Plus, North Carolina has always been balanced. There's only been 3 other players to lead the conference in scoring. Charlie Scott, Michael Jordan, and Antoine Jamison. And now McCants could be the 4th.
Scott, not a particularly good ball handler. And Redick, I think he saw May out of the corner of his eye and was trying to measure him. And while he was doing that, he lost it off the dribble.
I think he got nervous. He saw Donald Trump sitting in the first row, and he wanted to go get an autograph from Mr. Trump.
Let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Well, Mike, I know you guys are hot up there in the rafters, but a point down here, we've seen 2 guys already lose control of the basketball. Sheldon Williams for Duke and Rashad McCants on that last possession. It is incredibly hot, guys. We'll keep an eye on that to see if it continues to be a factor.
That could be a factor with fatigue as well, Doris, coming down the stretch, and that would give an edge. That would give an edge to Duke.
Rashad McCants, who is second only to J.J. Redick in long-range shooting, has 5, and North Carolina's on top by 6 in a very low-scoring first half.
He made 8 threes in his last performance. 8.
Tied the school record.
And he's an outstanding low-post player as well.
Williams got away from May, used the left hand and scored. Good feed from Deng.
Really hurt Duke when Williams got in foul trouble against Georgia Tech. You got to credit Luke Schenscher, took over that game in the second half.
Look at the job Felton did. He lost control. If he had kept dribbling it, it would have been a double dribble. At least that's what he thought. So he screened the ball off to try to keep possession.
I don't know about you, and I know you've seen a lot of ACC games and seen Carolina a lot this year. They're an improved team defensively. There is no doubt.
Very much so. Roy Williams knows it, and he's very happy about it. 4-point lead for Carolina. Could sit between a Carolina fan and a Duke fan and just have them throw names back and forth. You could sit there for a half an hour until you got to somebody who wasn't a great player.
Also, some great coaches. You look at Bob Hurley in the house right there.
The all-time assist leader.
Right next to him, Calvin Hill, the father of Grant Hill. Let's look at Calvin. Billy King. Yes, sir.
Great defensive player.
Yeah, Billy better get Allen Iverson to show up to practice.
Carolina basketball up by 4. 11:49 to go first half. Through the hands of Jawad Williams and out of bounds. The 5th Tar Heel turnover of the first half. And they have only hit 1 of their last 6 in a span that covers almost 5 minutes.
I would give a little edge because Duke familiar with playing on this environment, into this heat. They've played in this environment so many times. Plus, I think they're a little deeper on the perimeter. They got more depth on the perimeter, and that gives them an edge to me against North Carolina.
Redick, nice back cut against Scott and scores his first 2 of the game.
He wants to show that he's much more than a one-dimensional three-point shooter. Great movement without the ball. Good hedge right there defensively. Step out. Really getting after it. Duke's strong point all year has been their tough defense on the basketball. And it's all keyed by Chris Duhon.
Scott, tough shot. Jawad Williams has it blocked by Williams.
Sheldon Williams has become a factor inside in a low post and also defensively. What an improved player from last year.
The landlord is the leading shot blocker in the ACC.
He's done a better job keeping himself on the floor and not getting into big-time foul trouble.
Ewing, the brilliant outside stroke, and Duke has taken the lead for the first time.
I love him. Rashad McCants paid him a big compliment. He said he's really one of the heart and soul guys in the team.
May, a little turnaround from the lane, can't hit it. Duhon chases it down.
That's the guy that makes them go, Mr. Duhon. Oh, Mr. Deng. Yes, sir. That's a high percentage shot. That'll help his field goal percentage.
The senior to the freshman. Felton trying to get by Ewing. Ends up with May, and May is fouled.
What a great look by Duhon. to find the open Dang coming from the wing. Great vision. He's got great vision. He saved the basketball. Look at the agility and the balance right there. Now look at this young kid. Head up. His eyes are up. He spots the open Dang, and there's the jam. Dang played with Charlie Villanueva in high school, now with Connecticut. One of my teams I would pick for the Final Four because on a neutral floor, I think Okafor is going to be dynamite.
As long as he doesn't have the back problem,
exactly.
You just can't get inside shots.
Well, I'll tell you, he's such a shot blocker. Take a look right here. Look at the backdoor cut. We're going to watch this right here. There goes the backdoor cut. Great move by Redick without the ball. I like Kentucky, the way they're playing defensively as well, Mike. I think people better realize they've only got 4 losses, how genuine they are. And then I like Duke, and I love Gonzaga. There's no doubt in my mind the Zags are for real. Everybody out there knows Stanford suffered their first loss today.
And some people will tell you that's a good thing.
Well, you know, I don't buy that.
I don't either.
Coaches, you know.
But some people believe it.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt, Mike. If they would go in a tournament undefeated like St. Joe's, people will come back and say, you know, they should have lost the game earlier. Bottom line is, as a coach and player, you play for the most current game. And I salute Phil Martelli. They'll be #1, St. Joe's, and deserve it.
Last foul was on David Noel, who was in for the first time. Dang, with a nice drive that time and scored from the left side of the lane.
Looks like a different player.
Doesn't he?
Looks like a different player tonight. Got to credit Georgia Tech for doing a great job on him defensively.
McCants with a long 3 under pressure. Are you kidding me?
That's a big-time 3. He's got great touch. He can be as good as he wants to be. He makes the commitment to the other parts of the game. He becomes special.
Duhon can't get in against Felton. Roy Williams said one of the reasons his scoring is up, he followed the suggestion you had at the beginning of the year. He's penetrating more, getting more inside shots. But you just saw he can hit the outside, too. That was Ewing. It's a 2-point Duke lead. Ewing has 7.
We talked about Ewing in our first matchup being one of the most important players on the floor. Very underrated. Plays in the shadow of the stars, Redick and Duhon. But valuable to this Duke team.
Williams against May, a little bit too strong. Felton with another rebound. He's everywhere.
Williams and May playing himself so tough on the inside, trying to take away driving angles.
McCants trying to get away from Duhon.
He did.
May.
Great look right there to May, the drop step. He's got those beautiful hands. Comes from a great, great family in terms of his dad being a superstar. Played in those Super Indiana teams, the one that went undefeated in '76.
First game against Duke, he tied a career high with, get this, 21 rebounds. And that wasn't against Alabama, A&M, Teachers College, Community, whatever. That was against Duke. Tomorrow, ABC brings you an NBA doubleheader. First, the Mavs take on the Rockets, then the Nets against the Lakers. Coverage starts at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific on ABC. Home in the NBA Finals, and that's not all. ESPN with more NBA action at 7:30 Eastern. Boston visits the Timberwolves, an NBA special on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Hey, partner, think about this. College basketball, how wacky it is. What are the odds, for example, that St. John's, Georgetown, and UCLA, as we're going to watch them right inside, Deng with the great drive, goes to the goal, lays it on the glass. Those 3 teams may not make, forget the NIT, make their tournament. Unbelievable. Can't make their own conference tournament. What tradition at Georgetown, St. John's, and UCLA. Washington locked up a berth today. Lorenzo Romar should be credited 0-5 at one time. Look at the ACC leaders right here. Hodge having a great year.
Tell you what, when you pick the all-ACC team, there may be 4 guards in the starting 5.
It's a very guard-dominated basketball league because big guys have a tendency to leave early.
Felton back to David Noel.
Why would any kid want to miss being part of something like this, man?
That ball slips through Williams' hands. 4 bodies on the floor. And Williams tried to bounce it off the head of Sean Dockery. Unfortunately for Dockery, he missed and it hit the floor. The 7th Carolina turnover. We will break the season down for North Carolina and Roy Williams when we come back to Cameron Indoor. For North Carolina, expectations were high because they had Roy Williams. That was the win over number 1 UConn, and certainly they got off to a terrific start. An extremely talented starting five, but it hit some problems at the beginning of the year.
I'll tell you what really impresses me. When you look at their losses, triple overtime, certainly to Wake Forest. The game against Duke, when Duhon goes the length of the court in overtime. You factor in the buzzer beater when they get beat by Billard in Virginia. You throw in the loss, a tough one to Georgia Tech. Oh,
another lob to Luol Deng. This one from Dockery, and Duke's back on top by a bucket. Deng has 6.
Deng showing why he's selected as one of the top diaper dandies in America.
That already doubles his offensive output from the game against Georgia Tech.
I picked him on my top 5 in America as an influential diaper dandy. Should have given more of a consideration to Sean Banks at Memphis. What a year he's having. As you look at the points in the paint. But you think about the losses of North Carolina. They really lost a tough one to Kentucky at Kentucky.
Triple overtime against Wake.
I told Roy before you were in the locker room, I said, Roy, you're only about 5 possessions away from being one of the top 5 teams in America.
He knows it, too. Felton with a miss.
They're going to be a dangerous team in a tournament. I really believe that North Carolina is going to be my sleeper. I would not be shocked to see them go all the way to San Antonio, just like Bill Guthridge did when he was there, and it was in San Antonio, 98.
Felton, the ACC's leading assist man. Started right now by Dockery. This is McCants, and Duhon has hit.
Look at Duhon taking a challenge, playing McCants.
McCants forced that one a little bit.
Yeah, that was not a good shot. He's normally been taking really good shots.
Let's check in with Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Mike, you were talking a little bit about North Carolina's season. Roy Williams, a 9-1 start, but then they dropped 3 of their next 6, including losses at Maryland and at Florida State. And Jackie Manuel talked about this. He talked about his role in Roy Williams' system. He said, listen, he goes, I didn't like that. He said, I couldn't shoot threes, that I wanted to be a defender and a rebounder. He goes, but at some point, I realized that this man knows what he's doing. Rashad McCants starting to come around on the defensive side. So as they press on into March, Dick, I know you are very high on this basketball team.
I really am, Doris, and I'll tell you one thing. Mr. McCants got the message loud and clear versus Kentucky, because Roy Williams will not tolerate it any other way. You play as a team, and that means good shots, and you play defensively. And that's why he has had 14 consecutive journeys to the NCAA and 4 Final Fours.
May, pretty jump hook and scores. And isn't it amazing? You get the coach with the highest winning percentage in the country come in to take over your program, and it takes a while to buy into what he wants.
Yeah, you got to buy in that right away. Well, that was for some of the immaturity at the time of McCants. This is the guy that's the mystery to me. I see so much talent in Mr. Randolph, and you wonder when it's going to break out.
Almost lost it on the way in, then had it blocked by Jawad Williams and made it anyway.
Look at the block shot by him right there.
Randolph came over the top of his own center and blocked May's shot.
You know, before the game here, really early, about 2 hours prior to game time, I was with my son-in-law, Thomas Krug, who is an athlete in his own right. And there's the block shot, and we're watching Randolph. And he said to me, Mr. V, he hasn't missed a shot yet. Mike, he must have made 11 threes in a row. And you watch that, and you say, how can he go scoreless in games?
Nice defense by Reddick. He reached in, knocked it up in the air, and Manuel trying to grab it, knocked it out of bounds. I think one of the things that hurt Shavlik Randolph, Dick, is that he didn't have a very good freshman season because of injuries, and I think it held down his development.
Yeah, I think a lot of his problems are mental. I think he thinks too much rather than just react and play. He's got loads of ability, excellent skills.
Goes baseline, and he is fouled. That'll be on Jawad Williams. His first.
These two programs know a little bit about winning. You think about the most journeys to the Final Four. John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood with 12, the greatest man. And, of course, Michelangelo Dean Smith with 11. Coach K with 9. Great book out right now. I just got one in the mail. The Carolina way. I got it from Dean Smith.
Felton got hit, and he's down.
Great kid. They love him down in Lotto, South Carolina. Fans there absolutely say just a beautiful young man. Treats everybody with great respect.
No indication of what happens. Maybe we can see it on the replay.
Plays so unselfishly, great team player, understands the role of distributing the basketball. I think he runs into a screen. He catches the elbow, looks like, of Randolph. Certainly inadvertent.
Well, he certainly got a hip check. And that's what he grabbed. He grabbed his right hip when he went down. That could be a hip flexor. But certainly he was in obvious pain and unable to continue.
My feeling, he'll be back playing. He'll be back playing. He'll be back playing.
Well, that's the last guy they can afford to lose.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a thin team anyway, but they can't lose this guy.
Well, he's the catalyst. He's the engine. He's the guy that makes them go. Today in college basketball, you got to be strong at that point guard slot to be able to survive.
Obviously, that hip bothering him as he limps to the bench. Felton with only 2 points tonight, but 2 assists and 3 rebounds. He's an outstanding athlete and a good rebounder for a guard.
Just so tough, tenacious, competitor, superb quickness, obviously in a lot of pain.
And right there where they're pressing, you know, that little bone that sticks out from your hip, when you get hit on that, that can last a long time, and it hurts like the dickens.
Right now, if you got to pressure North Carolina, you got to come after them full court pressure.
Randolph a little short on the bounce pass as Reddick with the backdoor cut. Manuel nearly lost it. Ball slipping out of a lot of hands tonight.
With Felton out of the lineup, I believe you got to pressure.
They lead Jackie Manuel wide open, and Jackie Manuel, who has made, count them, 1 3-pointer this year, just hit his second.
Well, you know, they gave him a little statement earlier this year. We want you to take advantage of your strength. Use your athleticism, get to the basket. Forget about the perimeter shot.
Carolina back on top, 23-22. Jackie Manuel is in there because he plays defense as well as anybody. Nice reaction there. Now they challenge him. They say, go ahead, young man. Nobody's coming out on you. That is 2 out of 9 from three-point range. Here's Reddick, a guy that shot a lot more than that, and he can't hit it.
Well, Jackie Manuel really makes it tough on J.J. Reddick to get open looks. He's got those long arms. He's very quick.
May over Williams. Jawad Williams with the follow, and it's a 3-point lead for the Heels.
Nice offensive rebound by Jawad Williams. May getting in real deep. They got to get a little involved with Mr. Williams down in that post. He's not getting many touches inside.
Degg had a screen to his right, didn't want it, now moves left.
Little penetration.
Well, look at McCants work on defense, but he fell.
Are you serious? Are you serious? That had to bring Grant Hill out of his seat.
McCants, nice step. And then bricks the shot. Shavlik Randolph with the rebound.
Getting some quality minutes out of Randolph off the bench.
Duhon with a tough runner. Randolph, offensive rebound, goes down. Somehow kept the dribble alive and then called timeout.
Nice effort right there by Randolph. The intensity, Coach K. That's how we got 2 great coaches in this arena tonight. Look at the change of direction. Around the back, down the lane. We didn't see this Wednesday night, baby. One more time, showtime, Llewellyn Bank. Yes, sir, shake and bake around the back. Whirling. Oh, man, unbelievable. Donald Trump was going to jump out of his seat and say, hey, I want to get you under your practice. Got Mr. Trump in the house tonight. Oh, yeah, everybody coming out. All right, how did he get his ticket? Did he pay for his ticket?
Of course not.
Could he afford it? Maybe I should loan him a few dollars, huh?
You're the only one in the building that I know could.
Look at Donald Trump. I like his hairdo, man. I wish I had some hair.
You like everybody's hairdo, Dick.
I wish I had hair.
They've got ice on Raymond Felton's right hip, we are told. And North Carolina holding on to a 1-point lead without their star point guard right now.
They probably want to just be able to survive here halftime, get him ready for the second half.
Reddick can't get by Manuel.
Manuel really taking the challenge of playing J.J. Reddick. Reddick's going to have to work off screens to get free. He just had 2 screens he ran off, and Manuel got right over the top of both screens. Manuel
has a height advantage. He has a quickness advantage.
Yeah, he's not going to beat him off the dribble. That's not his style of play.
Shot clock at 9 for Duhon. Nice step out by Noel.
Randolph was wide open. They missed him.
And Duhon with a tough runner.
116 wins in 4 years. An amazing number.
Duhon has 4. Duke's back on top by 1.
The winningest player, certainly you think about the career of guys like Battier and Leitner.
McCants for 3. It was short. Jawad Williams had the rebound, but Duhon ties him up. And now Scott, line drive shot. Maybe that was a pass to Noel. Got to give him credit. He shoots that beautiful arc. That was the line drive and a foul. Let's go to Doris.
Mike, Ray Felton has a bruised right hip. We're told he will not play the remainder of this first half. They will examine him in the locker room to determine his status for the second half, guys.
Wow. Boy, that is bad news, even if it's only 3:23 left in the half. And hopefully he can play the second half, and it will not be a lingering injury. There really isn't anybody else on this ball club that can play the point guard. Scott was forced to play it a year ago or 2 years ago and simply could not handle it out there.
See, if I'm Duke right now, and I'm sure Coach K, who knows a little more than I know about his personnel and his team, you're going to attack Carolina right now, certainly in a situation where they're playing without a ball handler with the expertise of Felton.
Noel rims out. Randolph with another rebound. Duke with the ball and a 1-point lead. 3:17 and counting first half. Duhon, a space right down the lane, and he slashed through.
He has taken advantage of the last 2 possessions with Felton on the sideline attacking the basket. Duhon, a very smart player. Good basketball IQ.
Scott trying to handle the point. They go into Noel in the post. He and May working up front. Noel goes baseline, contact with Deng, and that's a good call. I thought Deng got there late. That'll be 2 on the freshman from London, and the 1-and-1 for the Heels.
2 of the class programs in college basketball. You see their uniforms, their facilities, everything about the program stands for greatness. I tell you, Dean Smith's outstanding book. People should get it. The Carolina Way. Did it along with John Kilgo, who loves Carolina. As you look at Coach K working that sideline, I always get amazed at Coach K. It's like every game is so important, and I love that about him, the passion he has for each possession.
Hey, when you're at either one of these schools, every game is important.
Yeah, no doubt. But never gets fat on the land. You know, obviously financially well off, obviously highly recognized by his peers as one of the best, but wants to be better, man. Cares about being better today than he was yesterday.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. And it's Duke by 1 over North Carolina. Duke has won its 6th regular season ACC championship in 8 years. The Blue Devils will be the #1 seed in next week's conference tournament. North Carolina, should it win tonight, would be the #3 seed because of tiebreakers. Should the Heels lose tonight, they would be the #5 seed.
And the reason they would win the tiebreaker, they beat North Carolina State twice, and that gives them an edge for the #3 slot.
And a huge win for Herb Sendek this afternoon at Wake Forest. Randolph can't handle a bullet pass from Duhon.
You know how Herb's program has arrived now? Everybody says, for example, Boston College, we beat North Carolina State. Michigan said, hey, we beat North Carolina State. Boston College, what a job Al Skinner has done with that program. They beat Providence today, played without Ryan Sidney. Troy Bell is left. Al Skinner, what a phenomenal job. Look at the halftime report coming up.
Bank One halftime report coming up. Stanford loses its first ball game. And, of course, our #1 college basketball moment in 25 years. Reddick gambles. Jawad Williams comes up with it into the corner for the 3-point shot by Rayshon Terry. And Roy Williams going deep into his roster tonight on a brutally hot Cameron Indoor Stadium floor.
Well, you know, Duke went to the trap, and I'm not surprised knowing that Felton's sitting on that sideline as an assistant coach. They went to that half-court trap, trying to create a turnover.
I can't remember the ball slipping out of so many guys' hands.
Oh, nice pass.
There's Horvath had one, couldn't handle it. Now he powers it up. And only because Jawad Williams hacked down on him did he get that foul. He made a pretty good block. on that play.
Senior earning some playing time.
Center anchor continues.
The Jags are starting to look...
What's cool and cold?
12-1-2.
Knicks in Portland tonight.
Who will land their dream job? You decide. Dream Job continues live Sunday at 10 on ESPN.
I want a dream job. Give me a dream job. Are you
got
kidding?
one?
I know. I have no doubt about that. I've had one for 25 years. You and I must have called about 30 of these Carolina Duke games,
so.
I would think, over 25 years.
And it's still not enough, you know?
Exactly.
Like to do 30 more. Horvath with a miss. Duke continues to lead by 1 at the 2-minute mark.
I think it's the greatest rivalry in college sports. Certainly you can make an argument for Michigan and Ohio State in football. Good defense right now, pressuring that basketball.
Manuel has developed into a great driver. This time he drives himself right into trouble. Out to Williams for 3 out of the corner. Manuel, a good rebounder, gets it back. He lost it on the way up. And then the follow is good by Terry. Check at McCants and give him 8.
Yeah, McCants with the good offensive rebound, leading scorer with 8. Deng with 8 as well. McCants leading the conference. Only 3 North Carolina players have ever led the conference in scoring. Mr. Jordan, Charlie Scott, and Antoine Jamison.
Well, I think he's going to win it this year. Duhon slipped. Tremendous humidity down there to go with the heat. It's just very slippery everywhere. Tough shot by Duhon. Horvath got it back and put it up from point-blank range. Couldn't get it to fall.
Horvath had an opportunity right there for that conversion.
Manuel, nice move on Randolph. He's fouled by Shavlik Randolph.
Hey, they keep talking about air condition here. What happened to that air condition they promised us? Where's Joe Oliva? Where's the AD? Get that air condition, baby.
I think it all goes to Mike Krzyzewski's office.
Those pipes are supposed to be air conditioning.
Well, here we are.
We got a guy waving us down with flowers. I'll tell you, it's like a sauna. It's like a sauna. Could we submit our clothing, our expenses in terms of to Duke?
Well, you can try it.
I'll tell you what makes this rivalry special as well, thinking about it. When is the last time you heard about a North Carolina situation or a Duke situation where there was infractions for cheating, etc.? You don't hear that. That's why Dean Smith was so special for what he achieved to become the winningest coach in the history of college basketball. There was never any impropriety. The bottom line is they did things with great integrity.
Scott for 3, too strong. Another offensive rebound almost. Here comes to Duhon.
Nice pass.
Good defense by Carolina.
Give it up.
Numbers.
Give it up.
And the foul by Duhon. The basket will count by McCants.
Not a good play by Duhon there to give him a 3-point opportunity. McCants got that little chip on his shoulder that makes him special in a way. He really feels he's good. You got to feel that way. If you think you're mediocre, you'll be mediocre. He doesn't think he's mediocre, I can tell you that. And he's not mediocre, my friend.
12 points for Rashad McCants, the sophomore from Asheville.
You know what's impressive about him right now in his game as you see him maturing as a player? He's not taking a lot of bad shots, Mike. He takes good shots. And that has always been a key with a Roy Williams basketball team. Understanding shot selection.
Well, his shot selection has understandably gotten better as he has driven more. That'll help your percentage every time. Carolina by 5. And the fans trying to get the Blue Devils back into it.
I think they've done an outstanding job, North Carolina, defensively.
Well, how about with Felton on the bench, what they've done?
Exactly. That's where they've really improved for me, though, is as a team, making a commitment to play defense, has kept them in every game. I'm telling you, people out there, watch this team come tournament time.
8 seconds on the first half clock. Now Ewing. Down the lane, nice dish to Luol Deng for the reverse.
Nice pass by Ewing, a great conversion by the diaper dandy Deng. We got another good one. It's been defense, baby.
Luol Deng gets 10 points in the first half. McCants has been the superstar for the University of North Carolina. 33-30, Tar Heels over the Blue Devils. And Roy Williams trying to win his first game as the head coach at North Carolina against Duke. Just some of the accomplishments for Chris Duhon, the all-time steals leader. #2 in assists 1,178 career points. The score 33-30. Let's join game night for the Bank One halftime report.
And that's why we have a 33-30 game. For Duke to win, Redick and Sheldon Williams have to get started.
Now, slippery basketball is something that we rarely, if ever, talk about, but it is so hot in this building because it was so nice down here during the day. No, it doesn't go up. It only goes down. It was so nice outside today that it is boiling hot in here, and we have seen several players lose control of the basketball. It has certainly been a factor so far in this one. Here are the first half numbers. Duke shooting almost 50%. Still, they are behind in an unusual stat. They are being outscored at the free throw line. 6 out of 9 for Carolina, 1 out of 4 for the Duke Blue Devils. Traditionally, they shoot more free throws than the other team makes.
And that's really a credit to the defensive game plan of Roy Williams. Great execution. For them to win today, for Duke to leave here with a W and get into that locker room, Williams and Redick have to really step up offensively.
Duke has won 6 of the last 7 here, 13 of the last 15 in the series.
Nice
pass to Deng and Raymond Felton. Good news for North Carolina. He starts the second half with that hip injury.
What a great look by Chris Duhon. Doris, what a tremendous look. I see Felton back, Doris.
Dick, Ray Felton really was going to just test it in warm-ups. He said it is very stiff, but he wanted to give it a go. Duke adjustments, guys. They talked about the offensive rebounding by North Carolina. In particular, they thought it was on their guards. Their initial defense was solid, but they've got to finish it off by getting defensive boards. That was what Duke talked about in the locker room, guys.
May picked up by Deng. Nice switch. That leaves Jawad Williams open from 16 feet. Too strong. Duhon, another good rebounding guard, snatches that one down.
May does a great job of recognizing the double team and finding the open man like he did there. Williams didn't convert, but it was a good play. Are they having a tough time getting Redick some looks? I mean, guys are right in his face. Excellent perimeter defense.
Great move by Deng. Luol Deng, a different player than the one we saw 3 nights ago against Georgia Tech when he was 1 for 14 from the floor. Duhon, another steal, and Duke's all-time steals leader. Puts him ahead by 3.
Got to get a TO, baby. Good call by Roy Williams. Got to get that TO. This place is rocking. Oh, is it rocking on camera?
Just a reminder that tonight's telecast is available on ESPN's high-definition service, ESPN HD. And folks, if you get a look at this red box, it'll show you exactly what you would be missing without high-definition television. It is a wider picture, and it is clearer. And if you love college basketball, get ready for ESPN High Def next week. 13 games in 4 days with the widescreen clarity. ESPN sponsored by Phillips and Best Buy, guys. And Dick Vitale, nowhere better than the John Saunders Theater to watch that kind of basketball.
John Saunders Theater. I'll have that rolling during championship week. Just like Mr. McCants keeps rolling, can he flat out shoot that perimeter jumper?
16 points for the ACC's leading scorer. We are tied at 36. Luol Deng, who has missed 1 field goal, has now missed 2 as May blocks from behind. Deng 7 out of 9 from the floor.
Great job by May, saying basically, hey, Diaper Dandy, get it out of here.
Coming up on HD Championship Week. Just a full slate of games, 13 conference tournaments games. All you have to do, click on ESPN.com and search HD. Redick down the lane. He has gotten so good at that, and it puts him at the free throw line where he is as automatic as you can get.
I really believe he's got to drive a lot more. A little isolation, trying to get free. Here he is now, going to utilize his dribble, trying to get to the basket. There he's attacking the goal. Scott playing him tough, fouls him, and like you said, boy, partner, put him on the line, it's automatic.
He has made 116 of 120 free throws this year.
He's just like automatic. Nothing but nylon, great touch from out of Roanoke, Virginia.
And he is on pace to set the all-time NCAA record of, right now, he's at 96.7% before those 2 shots.
What a great asset to have a kid like that late in the game, going to the foul line for you. What a positive that is.
Felton working with that bad hip.
Nice pass inside.
Blocked by Williams. Sheldon Williams with a great block on May. Ewing for three.
Sheldon Williams played great post defense there, had the excellent timing. He's got to get a little bit more assertive and aggressive offensively.
McCants. Oh, great move to get free and then can't hit the shot. And Deng with a rebound.
See, right now, if I'm Duke, I'm going to get some touches to Sheldon Williams. I'm going to bring the ball inside to the big guy.
Had good position there on the way up, knocked out of his hands, and good defense by Jawad Williams.
Good job of helping on the defensive end. Now look at Williams right now. The landlord says, Mr. May. No, baby. 4 block shots for Duke. The landlord, man, he owns it on the interior.
And Duke is on the way to set a school record for block shots this year. Duhon sets up Redick. And JJ with a cold hand tonight. Scott. Good no call. Scott missed his shot. Loose ball. May has it.
May's got those super hands. He's got great hands. Maybe the best in college basketball.
Nobody covered Scott, so he went to the corner. McCants gets it and then kicked the ball out of bounds under pressure.
Both teams really are aggressive on the defensive side, and that's why we have not seen the fluidness offensively or the rhythm that you would like to expect offensively. You got to credit them. Both teams really coming after the basketball, playing good, head on the ball, giving good help.
Nice move by Roy Williams here as Redick had a couple of good looks. And he's got Jackie Manuel back into the game to shadow him.
Yeah, with those long arms. Manuel, such a tenacious defensive player, and loves the challenge of playing Redick.
Redick again down the lane against Manuel, and he will draw the foul from the defensive star. That'll be 2 on the junior from North Palm Beach, Florida.
See, that's really smart now. He's starting to attack the basket with his dribble rather than just being isolated in a situation looking for the three.
They say he was fouled before he put up the shot. Second team foul against the Heels here in the second half. Nice drive by Ewing to the baseline. Short-armed it a little bit. May with another rebound.
I haven't seen the aggressiveness offensively out of Sheldon Williams that we watched earlier this year. He's got to be hungry and want the ball inside because that gives Duke great post presence and balance.
Manuel, nice pass inside to Noel, and he converts.
Noel, good athlete, has contributed off the bench. Manuel really can score around the basket in transition.
McCants with 16, Deng with 14. Other than that, there haven't been many points. We're tied at 38. There's Williams. Knocked away by May. Brilliant defensive play. 3-on-2. In and out. Tough shooting night for just about everybody as Felton couldn't hit.
Deng with that good rebound. They got to get some offensive productivity in that low post out of Williams. To win, you have to have balance. You got to be able to score on the perimeter as well on the interior.
Williams in that first game against North Carolina, 22 points and 12 rebounds.
Nice pass.
Deng. Now that's where you have to be lucky. The ball goes to Williams. It's tipped away, goes to Deng in stride.
You know, you talk about being lucky. Nothing went his way against Georgia Tech. But
that's
today
right.
It's all going his way. But there's a saying, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Oh, beautiful feed by Felton to May. Raymond Felton got inside, and he comes away holding his hip.
Nice
He's hurting.
Two-man game right there. Yes, he's hurt. What a courageous, tough kid. Raymond Felton out of South Carolina. They have a love affair with him. Yeah, he's limping. There's no doubt about it.
Williams kicks it back out to Ewing. Little two-man game. They isolate them on this side.
Nice pass.
Nice pass to Duhon. Can't finish.
Tough angle right there after the move without the ball by Duhon down the gut.
Carolina with a chance to regain the lead, tied at 40.
Last time Duke lost 2 in a row.
McCants, beautiful pass to May. The basket and the foul on Williams.
There's the unselfish play by McCants, showing again another part of his game. Getting better and better. There's the maestro man, Roy Williams. Averaged 28 wins a year at Kansas. Did a phenomenal job for the Jayhawks.
You know, Dick, you were talking the other night, and it's difficult to argue with you, but let me play devil's advocate. You thought Christy Duhon would be the player of the year in the ACC. There are a lot of people who are going to say that honor should go to Rashad McCants.
Yeah, McCants, there's no question. You can make a case also, I think, for the kid Pickett, had a great year at Florida State. And what about Julius Hodge down at NC State? I gave the edge to Duhon because of the fact that Duke won the conference regular season. I mean, I'm telling you, to the victor goes the spoils, and he has been their leader. And it's so great to recognize a guy that just doesn't put numbers up. He defends well, gets everybody else involved. He does a tremendous job defensively.
Heels by 2, 14:02 left. Shavlik Randolph against May, making him work on defense. And May works perfectly and then gets the rebound. 9 boards for Sean May, who tied a career high with 21 the first time these teams played. And Jack Emanuel called for a foul away from the ball.
Sean May, such a space eater with those great hands inside. Wow.
Luol Deng got a break. A couple of them, maybe. Sometimes the truth hurts. Witnessed the devastating turnaround, the loss to FSU, and a heartbreaker in overtime to Duke. Sometimes the truth hurts. That span 3 and 4 for Roy Williams and the Tar Heels.
I tell you, they're so much better than their record. He's done an amazing job creating the spark again, going into his zone defensively. I really think there's no doubt that Roy Williams will be joining Mike Krzyzewski in the Hall of Fame eventually. No doubt whatsoever. They're zoning right now, trying to get a little different look.
Duhon kicks it back out to Ewing. Got it.
I was just going to say, usually the zone plays in the Duke's favor because they love shooting that three. They can light it up from the trifecta.
Ewing 5th in the conference in three-point shooting, and if you put your best defensive player against Redick, then Ewing is usually going to be open.
I'll tell you, such an unsung hero when you talk about Ewing. He's one of those kids you have to be able to win big. You need more than 2 options.
They're trying to spread the court a little bit. Luol Deng lost control of it, got it back.
Back in the man-to-man, came out of the zone, just gave it one look. Tried to change a little rhythm.
Duhon on senior night trying to make something happen. Luol Deng so confident tonight. Knocks down another one, and Luol Deng, the freshman, with 18 points.
What a big-time performance. Grant Hill with a smile. He knows he's the idol of that young man. They talk twice a week. And what a mentor to have. Grant Hill, as classy as they come, a genuine All-American when he wore the Duke uniform.
Hey, you couldn't do much better than that, could you? Knocked away. Dockery kicks it, tries to save it, and did, but right to Manuel.
And look at this.
He kicks it ahead, a 4-on-0 fast break. We talked about good fortune on a play where Luol Deng got a tip. Good fortune that time for North Carolina, and Dockery just busting it to try to keep it alive.
What an effort by Dockery. I'm telling you, terrific effort. And here it is. He goes to the favor of North Carolina. Watch him diving for the loose ball. I mean, look at him right now. He's going to dive. He's going to actually show his great hustle, his love for that jersey. Keeps it alive. But unfortunately, it's a 4-on-0 at the other end for a layup.
He took it away from Melvin Scott. And just to give you the numbers, Melvin Scott had, coming into this game, 69 assists and 60 turnovers. Melvin Scott is not a point guard. He is a very good number 2 guard, a shooter, but when he has to go to the point, he's at a real disadvantage.
Just a great play by Dockery, but that was a 4-point turnaround. Listen to this crowd. Oh, the Cameron Prices are jumping, man. They are jumping.
Trying to wipe perspiration up off the floor was the reason for the delay, as bodies were flying.
This rivalry is going to be as intense as ever now with Roy Williams and Mike Krzyzewski going head-to-head.
Duhon lost it down the lane, but Deng was right there, and then he tries to slash in. Back to Duhon. Lost it on the way up. We've seen that about 20 times so far. And Duhon with a drive.
What a big-time drive by Chris Duhon. Look at the mom. That's my boy. He's an NFL All-American. Oh, what a drive. He got named All-American yesterday by the NFL committee.
Duke back on top by 1. The ball knocked out of bounds.
What emotion, what passion, what intensity, what spirit here. This is reality, baby, but it's real. It's genuine. What drama. What excitement.
A Chris Duhon layup has given Duke a 47-46 lead. And joining me right now, Donald Trump. And Donald, you've seen almost 30 minutes of basketball. Who are you going to fire?
Well, so far, nobody. Both teams are playing amazing, and it's a great game.
All right, if you're going to pick one player to be an apprentice on your show, who would it be?
Well, I think number 2 has been amazing for Duke. He's really been amazing.
I think Dick Vitale would probably agree with Luol Deng now or Ray Felton from North Carolina.
I'm talking about Deng. His touch around the basket's been amazing.
He can evaluate business talent and basketball talent, guys. Back up to you.
And you know, Doris, how much class he had. Did you notice the man doesn't even perspire, and it's 90 degrees down there?
And he's wearing a suit.
Duke by 1, 11:26 to go in the ball game. Raymond Felton with that hip injury. He could be a factor. That time he's on defense, and Duke throws it away.
Well, a major factor because he's their catalyst. He's their true point guard, the guy that initiates their offense. He's the guy that makes things happen.
Playing with a painful hip. He's been in and out of the lineup after the injury.
Has such a great handle, excellent ball handling skills.
May backing in on Williams. Short on the jumper. And Duhon tracks down the loose ball.
I love when Duhon's got the head up at all times. He's had such a strong senior year.
Williams blocked from behind by May. Redick with the loose ball, and he knocks down a 3.
Well, he finally gets an open shot after the block shot, and he gets a hug by Duhon. They know they need J.J. Redick's perimeter shot.
And that is Duke's biggest lead, and we have a couple of guys down.
It is so physical out there. The kids playing with such intensity. Look at the defensive play by May. Great job rotating over, a good angle. Williams goes down strong. There's the ball entered inside. Now look at May rotating over.
And Williams comes down and lands on that left shoulder. We're at Cameron Indoor, where Duke has won 6 of the last 7 in this tremendous rivalry. 13 of the last 15 overall. The Blue Devils have just taken their biggest lead of the game in a timeless rivalry. And Luol Deng has been the reason, Dick.
Yes, sir. Duhon with the great feed to Deng. Duhon's played a solid game on that perimeter.
McCants, who is Carolina's leading scorer and the leading scorer in the ACC. Pops from 14. The follow won't go. Boy, Noel was right there.
You know why Duhon's so valuable as well? He can play point guards as well as big guards. He's right now taking on the challenge of trying to check the leading scorer in the conference, Rashad McCants.
And the busiest guys in the gym right now are the towel boys, because they have to, every time there's any kind of a play, there's moisture on the floor, and they've got to go out and swab it up.
It's so hot up here, we can't keep our headsets on. It keeps absolutely just perspiring like crazy in our ears. Unbelievable.
You still look good.
Now I know you're lying, man. I've never looked good. I'm as ugly as can be.
Tried.
I got a face for radio, but somehow I've been able to con to be on TV.
Approaching the 10-minute mark, a 4-point game. Redick tries to get down the lane. He's hit by Noel.
Smart. Trying to be aggressive offensively off the dribble, because he's such a sensational free throw shooter. He wants to get to that line. Trying to get in a bonus.
Non-shooting foul there. That was the 4th team foul against North Carolina. Duke has committed just 1 in the second half.
And I heard Lenny Elmore today, outstanding guy, works with us. He said free throw shooting has to be measured at the end of the game. That's when you really look at stats, and I couldn't agree more. The differential of winning and losing many a game. He had the Pittsburgh game today. Pittsburgh really outstanding.
And an offensive foul called on Luol Deng. That's his third. A lot of times you'll see guys use that arm, give him a little chicken wing, and that's probably what it was.
Reggie Kofor with the goal, yeah. Clark Kellogg will be screaming right now, hey, a little chicken wing time. What a defensive effort by both clubs. Can't sing the praises enough about both teams coming after the basketball.
Noel wants it low against Deng. They can't find him, and back out to Scott.
You know, Mike, you get very few open shots. The ball is challenged. You play with so much heart. Jay Billis talked about that on ESPN.com. What makes this game so special, you leave it all on the floor.
Redick was dogging McCants, and finally J.J. Redick picks up the foul.
Look at this, Redick going to try to check Mr. McCants. He says, I'm not a factor only when I'm shooting threes. I got to show you I can be a factor. I can be a factor defensively. Look at McCants says, no, no, no.
You know, McCants loves to swing those elbows, and if somebody keeps their head in there, he's going to draw an offensive foul for it because he's going to hit somebody right in the chops.
J.J. Redick's got the challenge right now. McCants should go inside, try to post him.
Crowd thought Felton got away with a push-off. May blocked by Randolph, but the follow is good as Noel comes through.
Noel, really one of those quality guys that comes off the bench, very athletic.
8 points for Noel, the sophomore from Durham.
I'll tell you what's at stake here. Duke can't afford to lose 2 in a row at home in terms of being a #1 seed.
Great cut by Deng.
He's doing everything he can to get him to the winner's circle. That diaper dandy has really stepped up in the big moment. He has really caught the fancy of Donald Trump.
Lob to Noel. He missed, but he's fouled by Duhon.
You heard Donald Trump talk about him with Doris Burke.
Tomorrow, ABC Sports will bring you an NBA doubleheader, a Texas shootout with the Mavericks taking on the Rockets, then an East-West showdown when the Nets face the Lakers. Coverage starts at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Then ESPN has more NBA action for you in the evening. Paul Pierce and the Celtics continue to fight for a playoff berth with a visit to the Timberwolves, who have been one of the NBA's best this season. Dick, when you said they can't afford to lose 2 in a row, I imagine you're talking about seeding for the NCAA.
Yeah, to be a #1 seed, because then I think if they lose 2 in a row, it puts the pressure on them to have to win the ACC tournament to be a #1 seed. I think if they win tonight, they will earn the right to be a #1 seed because of being the best in the toughest conference in America. But Pittsburgh right now, Kentucky, and Mississippi State coming on strong.
Luol Deng, who is having a career night, has just tied his career high with 22 points.
Mike, he didn't have a shot like that the entire night against Georgia Tech, where he squared his body.
And if he had gotten it, he would have missed it.
Exactly. He couldn't put the ball. You put him on a beach, he would have missed the ocean.
Look at Felton working for position, and he scores. What a play.
Forget about the hit, baby. He's playing on adrenaline. That was an incredible drive. That's why he was McDonald's All-American.
And look at Roy Williams with a smile. Raymond Felton would not be denied. He used every move he's got. And Luol Deng feeling it a little short on that one.
How badly do these kids want it? Playing for bragging rights, 8 miles apart. So much pride in the uniform they wear.
May, and we're tied at 54.
Nice drop step, goes the opposite way from where the defense gives help. What an incredible, just an incredible environment. The environment, the basketball certainly hasn't been super on the offensive end, but pick it up. There's May with the drop step inside.
That's the 7th tie of this ball game.
How badly does he want to? Take a look at the coaches in those huddles. He knows, man, it's about this moment. It's about right here. Take a look at Felton. Great change of direction, whirling, spinning. I mean, taking it to the goal.
If the Heels win, Dick, they would be the 3 seed in next week's tournament. If they lose, they would be the 5th, and they are just loving it. And, of course, Mike Krzyzewski has already referred to next Friday's quarterfinals as Bloody Friday. And it's going to be. Those 4 games, there may have never been anything like it.
I can't wait for it. I know you're excited. I got a buddy of mine coming, Joe Barbetta, for his first time, and I know he's excited. He and his wife. I thought it'd be a great time. We'll be doing 5 games, you and I. It'll be a blast.
Wednesday night against Georgia Tech, Luol Deng had 14 shots. He made 1. Tonight he's had 14 shots. He's made 11.
I'll tell you one thing, Carolina's brought into the system of playing on the defensive side. See, that's the Williams. It's a little aggressive there. Haven't seen that all night. Credit some of that to Mr. May. I tell you, this game brings out national writers. I see Jim O'Connell of the AP, Dickie Weiss, the entourage from Tobacco Road, who do a great job. I tell you, Weiss and O'Connell, my kind of guys. They got such a passion and love for college basketball. There's a look at all the writers in the house here today. They have some great guys. I love going to that room and talk to all the Bill Brills of the world and Bill Cole and you name them. I mean, they really know their basketball. Luciana Chavez, all the people in this house here. Barry Jacobs. I steal all my information in the media room. I get it from all those guys. People always say to me, where do you get all those stats and all? Hey, we're lucky like today. 2 SIDs who do a fantastic job.
Terrific.
Steve Kirchner and John Jackson, who provide us a lot of the data and the information.
And then we've got John Madry and Fred Kiger who keep us updated throughout the ballgame. Williams misses them both. May with a rebound, tied at 54, 7:18 to go.
Remember, Duke just was beaten here on Wednesday. 41 in a row, came to an end. Got a little help from Maryland and was able to clinch the ACC regular season title for the 6th time in 8 years.
Redick comes out with the tip ball, slows it down, gives it up to Duhon.
May's done a solid job defensively inside against Williams, who's become a real threat this year on that post.
Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, Doris Burke, glad you could join us from Durham. Williams loses the ball, gets it out to Duhon. Now they're going to say he's fouled on the floor.
I thought they got a timeout.
Oh, they did. They get a 30-second timeout. As we celebrate our 25 seasons of college basketball, time to flash back into the archives.
They'll put it all on the line tonight. The #1 Blue Devils face the 9th-ranked Tar Heels. Montross has a cut on the side of the head. I tell you what, this time he got poked in the eye.
They need him back on his floor.
Leitner for 3. What a big shot. Montross, he is playing the game of his life for the Tar Heels. Duke with a chance to tie or take the lead. Leitner down the lane. He missed. It's over. It's over.
Bobby Hurley, who remembers the ups and the downs along with Grant Hill in this great rivalry. And, Dick, you talked about Dean Smith before. Seeing Dean Smith right there reminded me of one thing that we have rarely talked about. When it was very unpopular to be for civil rights in the South, Dean Smith was right there in the forefront. He was very vocal about it. We always talk about how great a basketball coach he was. Certainly he was. And all those things on the court, but off the court, he was a special person.
And that really came to the front when he was the recipient of the Arthur Ashe Award for courage.
Duhon can't hit it. May with a rebound. 12 boards for May. Still tied at 54, 6.5 minutes to go from Cameron Indoor.
Last time Duke lost 2 in a row at home was the 95-96 season.
Felton too strong, got his own rebound. Knocked away. 3-on-2. Duhon trying to split, kicks it back to Ewing for 3. Rimmed out. Williams got his hands on it, got it again.
There's Williams hanging around the basket, gets a deuce. Great look by Duhon to go to the perimeter for the 3.
That's only 4 points for Sheldon Williams. And look at the rebounding edge. Offensive boards, Carolina is just killing Duke.
That means you're playing aggressive basketball. They have bought into the Roy Williams system, and that system leads to winning. Offensive execution and defensive
May blocked by Williams, and May, unstoppable, goes right back for a second try. He has 14.
There's May down in deep, gets that rebound. Ball in the hands of the senior, Duhon. I relate him to Derek Jeter, one of my favorite baseball players, because he, again, as Joe Torre has said with the Yankees, you don't measure him in stats. And the same with Mr. Duhon.
The longer this game goes, the better it gets. Redick with the drive, and all he's trying to do on those. He'd love to make the shot, but he just wants the foul.
He goes to the foul line. It's like an automatic basket. One of the great pure shooters in America.
And that is 4 on Jack Emanuel. And that's big because he is their defensive stopper. And Redick will go to the line where he is 2 for 2 tonight.
You know, buddy, we're not going anywhere tonight. It's late anyway. Why not have about 5 overtimes? Why not 5 overtimes?
Well, you and I will pass out up here, but that's all right.
I don't mind. I'll tell you what, they can carry me right here to the great Duke Hospital.
Reddick has now hit 119 of 123 this year. That is incredible. He already set an ACC record at one point this year. He hit 54 in a row, has 8 points tonight, and Felton just trying to fight through the pain of that bad hit.
I tell you, he's a gutty kid. He wants to be part of this.
Reddick with the shooter's roll. It's a 2-point lead for Duke. Raymond Felton, the ACC's leading assist man, trying to be the force for the Heels to pull it off at Duke.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball. Brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that fits you best.
What else would it be with 5:24 to go? It's a 2-point game between Duke and North Carolina. If the Heels pull this one out, they would end up in a 3-way tie for third with Georgia Tech and Wake Forest. They would have the tiebreaker and be the 3 seed at the beginning of the ACC tournament. If they lose tonight, they would fall to 8-8. They would be the number 5 seed. Either way, they are going to be in the same bracket with Duke. It could set up a semifinal meeting or a meeting in the finals if they can get that far. And Luol Deng has tied his career high with 22 points after his worst offensive game of the year Wednesday night against Georgia Tech.
What a difference 48 hours makes. Certainly Georgia Tech did a great job attacking him, but he came out here. He was embarrassed. I really believe he was embarrassed and humiliated by his performance on Wednesday. And that happens to a lot of great players. How you bounce back is a sign of a champ, and he has bounced back big time.
It shows he's pretty tough mentally, doesn't it? Jawad Williams for 3, can't hit it. McCants kept it alive, but Shavlik Randolph rips it down.
You know, you saw those standings. Tomorrow Maryland plays Virginia. I believe the winner of that game gets a bid.
And is anybody as hot as Virginia right now?
Got 3 great wins at the end. Look at his food.
Luol Deng had it knocked away after he missed the shot. Let's check in with Doris Burke. Doris.
Well, guys, you have alluded to this all night long, but Deng, when he was a teenager in England, idolized Grant Hill. He watched game film of him as a Detroit Piston. He idolized him, came to Duke in large part because of what he saw in Grant Hill. He said, when I watched him play, he was able to dribble the basketball. It gave me the confidence to do that. It was actually Grant Hill who reached out to Deng first. A particularly bad game for Deng. In January, Grant called him and said, listen, big fella, you're okay. Hang tough. Twice a week he's called him. He said, listen, if I could call him every single day, I would. I just don't want to be a nuisance, guys.
I'll tell you what, 3 great players sitting here. Hurley in Hill's jersey. We saw Billy King there, a terrific defensive player, was a National Defensive Player of the Year.
Duke just ran a great out-of-bounds play. They got the ball
to the right guy,
in the lane, in the air. He didn't make the shot, but he drew the foul. He is now 5 for 5 from the line. J.J. Redick with 10 points. Remember the huge second half he had against Georgia Tech the other night.
You know, if he misses one, you got to scoop. If he misses one, it's an unbelievable scoop. They get him out for a little breather.
The lead is back to 4. At the 18-26 mark, the last basket by McCants. He has been scoreless for nearly 14 minutes in this game after being so hot.
And I talked about a little bit earlier how he's being played by Duhon, who's taking the challenge of trying to guard him.
McCants rims this one out. Noel got a hand on the rebound.
Very aggressive on the inside. You know, I was thinking about some former coaches here. Did you know at one time Bucky Waters was the head coach? And how's this for a staff? His staff was Chuck Daly, a Hall of Famer, and Hubie Brown on the staff.
Not bad.
Unbelievable. Hubie, by the way, should be coach of the year.
And they didn't win.
Yeah, that's right. Hubie should be coach of the year for the job he's doing with the Grizzlies. Battier plays with him, 4 fouls on Deng.
So he'll sit down at the 4:23 mark. Both Deng and Redick on the bench. Well, Krzyzewski can live with that as long as he's got the lead.
This is winning time right now. You get the last 4 minutes. This way you separate the real stars. They want the ball.
Reach in by Duhon. See, that came off of McCants and took the ball away.
Mike, you don't measure that in the stats. That's the little things we talked about, the intangibles.
That counts as one steal, but it was an enormous play.
Especially if they get a deuce now. See, I would go to Williams right now. I would try to get Williams one-on-one inside.
Boy, Randolph had him open, too. Couldn't find him. Duhon with a runner. Got it!
He said, forget about it. I'm taking this over. This is senior night. I'm going to win my last game here at home. I can't let these heels steal this from me.
Duhon has 12. The lead at 6. Duke's biggest of the night.
We were here when Battier on senior night got beat by Maryland. Gary Williams' team.
Scott being dogged by Ewing.
I've done a great job keeping Scott away from getting any three-point looks.
Felton got away from Dockery as Dockery fell down, missed a shot. Noel, who's been really good, got the offensive rebound and back to Scott for 3.
Well, see, he finally gets an open look created by the offensive rebound.
And that's his first basket, Dick.
Exactly. Hasn't been getting many looks. They've been right up in his face.
And I don't know, you probably have done this. I'm looking at the stats getting ready for this game, and you have 5 starters on each team averaging in double figures. I don't know that I have ever done a game between 2 teams where 10 guys were in double figures.
Well, a lot of balance offensively, and they all play a lot of minutes.
Last week on Dream Job, 5 hopefuls took the Sports Center Challenge. 1 was cut. Tomorrow the pressure is on. 5 more Dream Job finalists. 5 for the desk job of a lifetime and the ultimate contract in sports. Here's the reset. The possession arrow, probably the biggest thing in there favoring North Carolina. But Duke still has a foul to give.
That was
Redick.
He's driving a lot more. I was going to say a little earlier, one of the biggest rebounds tonight was Noel's rebound to get that 3 for Scott.
Scott, nice pass to Noel. Noel is hammered by Williams. That's going to be 4 on Sheldon Williams. Both he and Deng have 4 for the Blue Devils.
You know why Duke's such an outstanding team? Great perimeter play. When you look and measure the fact that you got a Juwan, you got a Redick, you got a guy like Deng who can play on a perimeter. You throw in Ewing and Dockery. They got 5 guys that can play out there.
And that has always been the strength of Mike Krzyzewski's team. He will have a good post player, maybe a good forward, but he always has guys who can handle the ball on the outside, can score from there.
You know, Bob Gibbons, who I respect so much, just came out with his report rating the top high school players in America, and North Carolina has 2 in the top 12, Marvin Williams and J.R. Smith, who plays for Bob Hurley's brother, Danny, down in Newark, New Jersey, at St. Benedict. But Duke has the number 3 player in the nation, Sean Livingston, at 6'7", a terrific point guard.
Isn't that a shock that Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams can recruit talent? 2:48 to go in this one. It's a 3-point game.
They got such great schools to sell.
The reality of the season comes at the end as the ACC became tough to navigate for the Blue Devils. And then came last Wednesday, the loss to Georgia Tech. Against Georgia Tech here that broke the 41-game win streak.
And saying all of that, they still won the regular season in the toughest conference in America.
Deng's fadeaway jumper, and Luol Deng has just set a career high. He has 24 points.
It's been Luol Deng night here tonight. He has been sensational, one of the real blue-chip type of dandies. Look at that hustle.
Lost it, trying to get it back. Whistle. And a foul against Duke.
I tell you, the officials have done a heck of a job here tonight. They really have. Maxwell, you talk about Cofer.
Mike Wood, Gary Maxwell, and Reggie Cofer.
Take a look.
Last back-to-back losses, you have to go back to 1996. What a record for Mike Krzyzewski.
I tell you, you feel so much the electricity of the crowd. It brings out the best. You have to give your best performance almost every day. Somebody's going to have their A game like Georgia Tech had on to be able to beat this club on this floor.
McCants misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
That becomes big right about now.
McCants has scored only 3 points in the second half, Dick, after getting 13 in the first 20 minutes.
Now they're going to try to take some time off that clock, keep the ball in Redick's hands as much as possible, try to get him on the foul line.
The greatest rivalry in college basketball, maybe the greatest rivalry in all of sports. Renewed again tonight at Cameron Indoor. Shot clock at 8. Duhon with a scoop. Williams kept it alive. And Ewing is fouled. And Ewing hit that padding over there very hard, it appears.
That's a big possession here. He goes to the free throw line to take this up to 7.
And a tough break for North Carolina because Jack Emanuel picked up his 5th foul, and their defensive stopper will have to sit down at the 146 mark. Coming up on SportsCenter, Kyle Ravitch and Scott Van Pelt. They'll take a look at Pac-10 perfection, Bubble Busters, and back to K-Ville for a wrap-up of this one. All coming up after our game. Hope you stay tuned for that.
Well, you know, the Pac-10 right now gets a 3rd team because I believe Lorenzo Romar, his kids have earned the right. They've won 12 of their last 13 conference games, beating the Cardinal today. Stanford lost their first game.
And I believe the only game they lost in that stretch was to North Carolina State.
Lost to North Carolina State, Washington on the road.
67 to 61. Duke leads by 6. That's the biggest margin all night.
Making free throws down the stretch, something Lenny Elmore talked about today in the Pittsburgh game. So vital.
In and out on the second one. Right now it's a 2-possession game. Can McCants get the stroke back?
They have really challenged McCants. Duhon has played him exceptionally tough.
Reddick reached in, commits the foul, and McCants comes up gimpy.
Not a good foul right there because, number one, you stop the clock, put him on a line with a chance to get points. Luol Deng's been the star of stars tonight. That diaper dandy has been absolutely shining. Bounces back after his worst performance. 1 for 14 on Wednesday, 12 for 16 tonight.
Dick, that's what's so interesting. You come off your worst game of your brief career. Your team loses at home. Now you have to face perhaps the biggest game you've ever played in against North Carolina, and you have a career-high 24 points.
And you respond like a real champ. McCants goes to the line, gets the conversion. I'm still telling people out there, North Carolina during the postseason in that NCAA tournament is going to be dangerous. I know if I were a coach and I was looking at that board on Selection Sunday, I don't want to see them in my section, and I don't want to see them as my opponent.
McCants with 18, the lead is cut to 4.
You put them on a neutral court, comes a little trap, got to spread the court. Get good spacing now is essential, and making sure that the right people have the basketball to be fouled.
That usually means Duhon and Reddick. Reddick, if at all possible. 1:14 to go. Shot clock at 10.
Reddick showed a little bit more than a jump shooter here tonight, especially in the second half.
Duhon lost it on the way in. Deng has it, and Deng is fouled with 2 seconds to go, and that's a bad play by Melvin Scott. The shot clock is down to 2 seconds. Deng had it with not much time to operate, and Scott reached in and committed the foul.
Yeah, Scott got himself caught in a really funny situation right there. You're going to watch right here. He's going after the basketball. He says, oh, no, me.
Deng with 24, 72% free throw shooter, his first trip to the line.
There have been so many great diaper dandies this year. Chris Paul at Wake Forest. You think about Sean Banks for John Calipari of Memphis. How tough is Conference USA? Louisville's like in 6th place in that conference.
They're just getting hammered by everybody.
Oh, gee, I tell you how tough that conference is.
Under a minute, 5-point lead.
You don't want to foul here. You want to play tough, hard-nosed defense. If you're North Carolina, you're going to attack the basket. There it is.
McCants low against Deng.
Great play. See, I don't think he takes advantage of that ability. I don't believe anybody in America from a guard spot can post up as well as he can.
But he is taking more advantage now than he was at the beginning of the season. He wouldn't do it at all.
He must have listened to us. We were talking about that.
No, you, not us, you.
Oh, you did listen to me?
And there's the other guy he has listened to.
You better listen to him. He's the boss.
Before the game, Roy Williams said one of the improvements in his game is he's played defense so well. I'm not yelling at him all the time, which really improves everybody's mood.
I'll tell you, they made a great choice getting Roy Williams as their coach. It was unbelievable. They hit the bonanza.
Tomorrow, ABC Sports brings you an NBA doubleheader. The Mavs against the Rockets. And the Nets against the Lakers. Coverage starts at 12:30 Eastern on ABC, home of the NBA Finals. And that's not all. ESPN with more NBA action at 7:30 Eastern. Boston against Minnesota, an NBA special on ESPN.
Kevin Garnett has been unbelievable this year. Mr. Triple-double, just a sensational talent.
One timeout left for each team. The lead is 3.
Got to protect the basketball. That's smart right there. You want to put it right in his hands. Want to get it back to him. You want to get it back to Redick.
Now Duhon tried to beat the 10-second count and just did. Now they want to get it to Redick. That's exactly it. He'll hold it as long as he can.
They do a great job, dude, spreading the court. This is one of their strengths with the lead late. They very rarely give up leads late.
Shot clock at 10. Williams, he doesn't want it out there. Now Duhon will try to drive. Duhon kicks it out to Ewing for 3. Noel with a rebound. They need a 3 to tie. McCants lost the ball. Duke has it. Redick got it and called a timeout.
McCants was the one guy that wanted with the 3 to get an opportunity. He's a terrific three-point shooter. Oh, they're ready to celebrate here, Cameron. Oh,
McCants was looking for a 3 to tie it at 68. Instead, he turned it over. We have seen the ball slip out of guys' hands, and guys slip on this floor too many times tonight.
He's slipping all over the place. Look, he slides right there. He slipped. He was trying to get to the three-point line. They were getting up in his face.
But what a hustle play by Redick.
Look at this right now. Smart play right here. Redick, get the timeout. Get the timeout. I believe Duke clinches for sure a #1 seed with the victory here tonight if they win this game.
Boy, Roy Williams knew he was one good shot away from sending this into overtime.
It's been Heartbreak Hotel. They have lost so many tough games down the stretch. Things will change. I know they will change. You put them on a neutral court. Carolina's faithful should be very excited about the future of what they have in front of them with the leadership of Roy Williams.
If they can't pull out a miracle in this game, they would fall to 8-8 in the conference, 18-9 overall. And you're right, they've had one heartbreaking loss after another.
Out of those 8 losses, think about it. Triple overtime, buzzer beaters, heartbreakers at the end. They'll be a tough foe at tournament time, but so will the Dukies.
They are on their feet at Cameron Indoor. 4.4 seconds to go. Duke basketball, mission 1, get it inbound.
Yes, sir. My final 4, Duke, Connecticut, Gonzaga, and Kentucky.
Nice piece of officiating by Mike Wood. He's telling the North Carolina defenders what they can and can't do. And now Noel has to foul Redick with 2.7 seconds to go. And J.J. Redick, the best free throw shooter in the country, can ice it.
I'll tell you one thing. Do you think in that timeout by Mr. Krzyzewski, he said, guys, we must get the ball to you, J.J. J.J., we must get you the ball.
13 points tonight for J.J. Redick. More importantly, he has hit all 6 of his free throws.
It's like also when Michael Jordan was playing at the end of the game during a timeout, championship game. Mr. Jackson's got to design the play. Very simple. You 4, get to the far corner of the gym. And Michael, do your thing, Michael. And oh, did he do his thing.
SportsCenter comes up after our broadcast, and they'll have a Pac-10 update. Could Stanford keep it going? Our Bubble Busters back to K-Ville for a wrap-up of a series that started in 1920 and has produced more thrills than you can possibly believe in this series. And, of course, J.J. Redick, who will go to the line, knows the history of this series.
I grew up a Duke fan since I was 8 years old. So I remember a lot of the great Duke-Carolina games. 2 that stand out right away are the double overtime game in Cameron when Jeff Capel hit the running 3 to put into overtime. And then the other game is Wojo's senior day when Duke came back from 17 down in the second half and won by, I think, 2.
Look at the tears right there, Mr. Krzyzewski, as you look at J.J. Redick. I think the one great thing about both these teams, we're going to see, I believe, all these kids return. I really believe many of them. Well, I think they are. I really do. That's the word I'm getting, that many of them, even though we read in Sports Illustrated that many of the high school stars are going to move on now, probably to the NBA. I think they're missing so much. They're most of all missing being a kid. There is something about that dollars can't pay for, being a kid.
Well, they're missing you calling their games, too.
Well, that's
Reddick goes to the line. He can make it a 2-possession game, and does.
You too kind. This is our last game, regular season. Now we get ready. I can't wait to go to the studio Wednesday for championship week with Mr. Phelps and Gilgang and Chris Fowler. Then I'll join you Friday for a nice doubleheader Friday afternoon.
This would be 7 out of the last 8 for Duke and 14 of the last 16 in the series. Wow. McCants with a half-court shot, and it's over. Duke has done it again. They have swept the season series from North Carolina 70-65 as Luol Deng has a career night. Deng comes through with 25 points, 15 in the second half. Duke will be the number 1 seed in the tournament. North Carolina will be the number 5 seed. And Mike Krzyzewski has just won his 25th game of the year. That seems like he does it every year, Dick.
Every year you take him for granted. You talk about Coach of the Year, you don't think of the name Mike Krzyzewski. You just expect him to win. What another great environment here tonight.
Our final score, 70-65 Duke. Sports Center is next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Doris Burke and Dick Vitale, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everyone.